Hello friend, in my last video I created the Python module and here it goes, this one that contains function within the module. But in this video I have created a module and this time it contains a class. So as you can see right over here, I have created a folder called my module underscore class and it contains two files. One is called mean.py, which you can see right on the right hand side, and the other one is called list underscore manager.py, which is the class that you can see over here. Let me collapse this so that we have got enough space. So now as you can see, and inside the file mean.py, here we are giving a call to from list underscore manager. So what is list underscore manager? Well, that's a file name. Yes, that's a file name which I have created, and within that I have a class called list manager. So here the class goes. So be very careful about this particular line. This is the line which you come across in Python as well as in Django. So from the file name, import the class name, and inside this class we have got what? Well, we have got methods. Yes, and you can see the list of methods in front of you. So I will explain all these methods one after the other. Let's start with the very first one, and that is called constructor. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore self is actually the constructor. That means with the help of this constructor I would be able to create an instance of this particular class. So let me show you that. As you can come down over here, I have a function called dev menu. Inside this, in the very first line, what I have done, I have given a call to my constructor. So don't consider this to the class name because it has a parenthesis, hence it's a constructor. So giving a call to the constructor means you're giving a call to underscore underscore init, and that's how the instance of the class is getting created. And the name of the instance I have given is called manager. So this is a line with the help of which you are creating an instance of the particular class called list manager. Now after the constructor, what we have got? Well, inside the constructor we are initializing our class member variables. And right now I have got one member variable that is called list. Well, this is an empty list. Usually inside the constructors you will find that all kind of initialization of the class member variables are actually done. So that's the practice. We will not perform any kind of calculation inside the constructor other than initialization. So once we have done this, well, before I move to the next one more thing I will need to talk about is the first parameter called self. Yes, in every method of the class you will find the first parameter is a self. Self refers to the current instance. So when you're writing this, here is a current instance that is getting generated. So this manager would refer to this particular self. So self refers to the current instance in which we are working. So after the constructor is done, now we have got a list of few methods. Remember, these are all methods because you're writing methods inside the inside the class. Well, it's preferable not to call them as a function. I have a method called add underscore item, and that would take input from the user. So let's come right on the over here. We have got one menu driven program, and this menu will be generated. Well, let me show you that. Wait a minute. So here it goes. Yes. So here it goes. Right. So as you can see over here, what I will do is I will run the program. So python main.py, I hit the enter, and here it comes right in front of you. So what is this? Well, this is the menu, and you can see over here add item, remove item, display item, find max, calculate sum, calculate average, and clear the list and final exit. A list of operation has been done over here, and I don't need to explain all of them. Few of them I will explain which are more important. So let's consider that when you're going for the first option, that I would like to go for the option number 1. As I give 1, that means my 1 would get pass into the choice, and over here what I have done, well, I'm considering all this numeric value as a string type. For that reason I'm not typecasting it. But in case if you wanted to consider them as this values as a numeric type, then of course you will not write these quotes, and you will pass int typecasting method over here. So I hit the enter. As I do that, it asks me to enter a number. So this particular choice matches with the 1, and rest of the other conditions are not been fulfilled. So the control enters this particular decision making statement, and it was asking their enter number to add, and it would be converted to float. So enter a number means like I would like to go for 11.1. How about that? I hit the enter. So 11.1 gets added. So 11.1 actually gets to a variable called item. Okay, and now what we are doing, I am giving a call to the object, the instance which I have created over here. So with the help of the instance which I have created right over here, I'm giving a call to this particular method. Remember, the instance with the help of dot operator gives a call to the method, and the method is the add item which I've defined over here, and the input which I just now have taken, that is 11.1. that input is forwarded into this method in the form of a parameter. So 11.1 comes right over here. Remember, all the method inside the class, the first parameter should be always the self, that refers to the current instance. So the data comes, 11.1 comes right over here, and we know that we have already created an array, the list in Python. This list I would like to insert the data, and for that reason, since this is a class member variable, so I'm writing self.items. The item is the name of the list. Dot append is system function that gets called, where we are passing the items that I have taken as input from the user in the form of parameter, and eventually this line will get printed with the format specifier right over here. So you can see over here this statement has been successfully done. 11.1 has been added in the list. So if we want, we can go for another insertion. Let's do that one. So let me go for one more insertion, and this time I'm inserting suppose value called 22.2. I hit the enter. Yes, 22.2 also got added. Now let's go and print the list. So here is the third option. So if you go and print the list, how do you manage the print option? Let's come over here. Here it goes. So it will just check whether there is any item present in the list or not. Well, in case if it is there, then directly it will print the entire content of the list. We are not going for any individual iteration. That also we can do it, but directly I'm printing the value. So let's go and click on this option. So I had option is to go for number 3. So I provide 3 and I hit the enter. You can see inside the list these numbers are been, since the items are been stored inside the list, so one after the other the numbers have been shown. Well, if you would have gone for iteration with the help of range function or for loop, you could individually segregate these numbers from the list, and then the list will not be shown. But I just wanted to save the time, and for that reason I directly printed the list content, and that's the reason you are seeing this third bracket. So don't worry if you want to insert one more item. So if I go and insert another item, suppose 33.3, the item got inserted. Yes, and now if I go for display, that item will also be added in the list. So let's go and click on this, and you can see that item got added in the list. So that's how the insertion will be taking place, as well as we can display the data. As I said, you can perform individual iteration as well. So after display, we can go for remove item. Well, in case of remove, it is also performing a search operation, because the item that you want to remove, if it is there, then only it will be removed from the list. Otherwise it will display some standard statement. Let's see over here. So when you are giving a call to the remove, basically you are giving a call to the option number 2, and here it is taking from the user what type of number you want to delete. And since I have inserted the data in the form of a float, for that reason I need to convert the data into float type, and I store in the item, and then eventually I will pass this particular method along the method I will pass the parameter. Remember, this method is again belongs to the class, so the first argument will be self, and the second argument will receive the data that user have forwarded. And now what I'm doing, I'm performing again decision statement. I'm checking that whether this particular number actually exists in the list or not. So if item this, it actually does exist. So if it does so what will I do? I will go and I will remove the item, and for that reason I'm giving a call to system and function called remove. So previously I have given a call to append. In the same way, now I'm giving a call to remove, and after removing, the print statement will show. But in case if the number is not present in the list, so of course if condition won't be true, then this particular statement will be generated that the item is not there in the list. Okay, so let's go and check it out. Suppose I intentionally want to delete an item that is not there in the list. So let's go for the option number 2, and it is asking me enter the number. I don't have any value called 44.4, and it will say that the 44 is not in the list. Great. And now let's go and delete 22.2. So again I will choose option number 3, and what I did, I display. I went for option number 3 is a display. So I will go for option number 2, and it will prompt me to enter the number to remove. So I would go for 22.2. I hit the enter, and it has been removed from the list. And now let's go and display, and now this time you will not see 22.2 anymore in the list. So that means that's how the remove function is working. And the rest of the function I believe you can understand pretty well. As you can see over here, these are all system defined functions. I intentionally wrote this particular program just to introduce that these are system defined function which is present in context to list. So I have a function called max, with the help of which you can generate the max value among the list. Sum will calculate the entire sum operation of the given number that is in the list. Well, you can also go for calculating the length, I mean average, but for that reason you have to go for summation of all the items, and then you have to find the number of items divided, and so for that reason you will be using the len function. So eventually you will be getting the average of the entire list. That also you can do it. And in case of display, again it will check individually the item which I want to display is there or not. If it is so, then definitely it will display, I mean if there is item present in the list, irrespective of whatever item I want to display, it doesn't matter, it will just display all the item that is there in the list. So this print statement will display all the items that are there in the list. Again, I didn't use any for loop, you can use that as well. And since I'm not using any for loop, so you are seeing the item in the form of a list itself. And finally you have a system function called clear that would clear all elements from the list, and there would be no item left to display. Okay, so these functions these are the majority of functions, system find function, as you can see. And here I have given a call to these functions individually, like I have given a call to choice number 4 to find the max, then similarly choice number 5 to give a call to get sum, and since choice number 6 instance name will give a call to get average, that will give me the average. And before you go for the average, it would check whether the item is there or not. If it is, see, average is not none. If there is an average, then only this particular print statement will be generated. And in case if average is not there, maybe item is not there and you went for the calculating of the average, that can happen. In that case, it will say the list is empty. And lastly, number 7, if you want to delete all the items from the list, you can easily go for it. Apart from all these items, if you want to terminate the program, and for that reason you can give the option called break, and then you would be out of the particular program. And remember, this main function would be getting called by your if underscore main, this particular thing. And remember, this particular statement or underscore unit is actually known as dunder function. Okay, let me write this one, that is called dunder, D-U-N-D-E-R, dunder function. So you can just do a Google on this, because these are also very important, dunder function in Python. Okay, so you can make use of this one to perform or calling up this particular function menu, and eventually doing all the operations one after the other. Okay, I believe this particular video helped you to understand that you can come up with a module that contains a class within itself. So we saw that there can be module in two different ways, module with only functions or module even having class. In my next video, I would like to extend further the concept of class, because right now I'm working on a single class. How about working on multiple class? That also I will keep this thing in mind. Okay, so that's all from this video presentation. See you soon. Bye bye.